BTV World and BTV Chattogram Centre.
And I'm Nafis Imtiazuddin. You've heard the headlines. We have details of those and other stories coming up. The Executive Committee of the National Economic Council, ECNEC, has approved 21 projects involving an overall estimated cost of 19,778 crore and 73 lakh taka. The approval came from the ECNEC meeting held with ECNEC Chairperson Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in the chair. This was at the NEC conference room in Sher-e-Bangla in the capital this morning. Briefing reporters after the meeting, Planning Minister A.H.M. Mustafa Kamal said of the approved 21 projects, 19 are new, the rest 2 revised. The projects approved at the meeting are collection of 35 dredgers and auxiliary water vessels, including relevant instruments, and construction of necessary infrastructure, reconstruction of Kumila Central Jail, second urban region development of footpaths and drains, including rehabilitation of damaged roads of Dhaka South City Corporation, urban development program on climate change impact at Borishal City Corporation, strengthening teletalk network coverage in the remote areas through installing solar base stations. The land acquisition and utility transfer project is support for the upgradation of Dhaka, Kachpur, Sylhet, Damabil Highway into 4-lane and construction of separate service lanes. Human capital for the future. He said this while delivering his speech on investment in a new era of globalization at the Global Leaders Investment Summit in Geneva in Switzerland today. The 5-day UNCTAD World Investment Forum 2018 began at the UN office in Geneva yesterday. President Abdul Hamid urged all concerned to encourage the private sector to invest in green and renewable energy by providing incentives and preferential treatment. Referring to some discontent at the recent phenomenon of globalization, he said, industrial revolution and scientific inventions speeded up the process over the years, unprecedented technological advancement in the 20th century, and the resulting ever-enhancing connectivity brought revolution in transfer of goods and services, but benefits of the wealth created did not reach everyone equally. He said exploring remedies could be made in investment policy making so that more people could benefit from the era of globalization. About the recent influx of 1.1 million Rohingyas and their prolonged presence in Bangladesh, being the victims of military brutality in neighboring Myanmar's Rakhine state. President Hamid said this largely affected the country's economy and society, but the country, under the visionary leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, continues its relentless efforts to keep harmony and progress. Agriculture Minister Begum Matiya Chaudhry has informed Parliament that the country has the potential to produce an additional 25 lakh tonnes of rice by the year 2030. She said this while replying to a question during the question-answer session in Parliament today. Earlier, the sitting of the House resumed in the afternoon with Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry in the chair. Responding to a question, Environment and Forest Minister Anisul Islam Mahmood told the House that the country would observe Health Day on the 10th of November every year in order to create awareness about the avian influenza flu among the people. Meanwhile, Standards of Weights and Measures Bill 2018 was passed in Parliament today. Industries Minister Amir Hussain Amu moved the bill, which was passed unanimously. The report of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Labour and Employment about Bangladesh, Labour Amendment Bill 2018, was placed in Parliament. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was accorded Special Distinction Award for Leadership by the Global Health Coalition, while Humanitarian Award by Interpress Services Agency UN for acquired admiration at home and abroad for her pragmatic leadership, far-sightedness and humanitarian attitudes on the Rohingya issue. Whip Shahid Rahman Sharkar placed the thanksgiving motion under Procedure 147 to thank the Prime Minister in the House. Participating in the general discussion on the thanksgiving motion, the members of the Parliament told Jatiya Shangshad that the Prime Minister not only gave shelter to the Rohingyas, but she is also continuing utmost diplomatic efforts to establish their rights in Myanmar. They said the Prime Minister has turned Bangladesh into a role model of humanity through providing shelter to the Rohingyas. The Parliament member said Bangladesh would go ahead as long as Sheikh Hasina remained in power. They said BNP Jamaat Alliance does politics using religion. On the other hand, the present government is trying to establish a non-communal Bangladesh. They said now Bangladesh has reached the peak in all the development indices. Taking part in the discussion, members of Parliament said there was no room for anti-liberation forces on the soil of Bangladesh. Deputy Speaker Fazil Rabi also presided over the session. The sitting of the House will resume in the afternoon tomorrow.
Visiting UNDP's Democratic Governance Portfolio Manager Mahmood Afroz made a call on Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry at the সংসদ Bhavan in Dhaka today. They discussed on the progress of different ongoing projects run by the UNDP's assistance, including capacity building of the officials working at the Parliament Secretariat. Father of the nation Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's grandson, Radwan Mujib Siddiqui Bobby, was also present during the call-on. The UNDP representative apprised the speaker of a workshop for the officials of the সংসদ Secretariat to develop their skills and capacity on the 6th and 7th of November next. She said international resource persons in the field of cultural intelligence framework and innovation will conduct the workshop. Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry expressed her sentiment that such workshops will play an important role in developing skills and capacity of the officials of Bangladesh Parliament Secretariat. Awami League General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obaidul Qadir has said the election time government would be finalized after the Awami League's joint meeting on October 26th. He said this at a press conference on contemporary political issues at his ministry's meeting room at the Secretariat today. The minister said if the cabinet size becomes smaller, several new faces would be included, or if it remains similar to that of the current one or two new faces may be included. Obaidul Qadir said the size of the election time government will be similar to that of the previous one, but a decision will be taken on the October 26th on how many members would be there in the election time cabinet, he added. About Barrister Moinul Hussain, Obaidul Qadir said he was not arrested as a new leader of Oiko Front. Rather, he was arrested for his personal wrongdoings. He said Awami League has no concern centering Oiko Front. Rather, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has already welcomed them. Health and Family Welfare Minister Mohammad Naseem has urged the physicians to work dedicatedly for ensuring healthcare services to all, including the safe motherhood. He made the call at a program in Bangabandhu International Conference Centre today, organized by Health Directorate. Chaired by Director General of Health Directorate Abul Kalam Azad, the program was addressed amongst others by BMA President Dr. Mustafa Jalal Mohiuddin, Secretary to the Medical Education and Family Welfare Division GM Saleuddin, and State Minister for Health Jahid Malik. Later, awards were distributed to the recipients of special achievements in safe motherhood. Jashud President and Information Minister Hasanul Haq Inu has said Dr. Kamal Hussain made himself a laughingstock by forging unity with the BNP for creating a secular society. He said this at a Jashud organised public meeting at Oshim Multifarious High School ground under Fulbaria in Mymensingh today. The Information Minister said Dr. Kamal is not an infant and his statement of shunning association with Khaleda Tariq and militants is absurd. Mymensingh District Jashud General Secretary Advocate Sadiq Hussain, President Ghiyasuddin, Jashud leader Said Shafiqul Islam and Jashud Standing Committee member Professor Dr. Anwar Hussain also spoke at the meeting. Hasanul Haq Inu said Dr. Kamal's main target is to rehabilitate the BNP Jamaat by bringing an unelected government through foiling the election. Ekatturer Ghatok Dalal Nirmul Committee has submitted a memorandum to Chief Election Commissioner K.M. Nurul Huda demanding 5 points, including the disqualification of Jamaat and war criminals' children in the forthcoming parliamentary elections. Nirmul Committee President Shahriar Kabir submitted the memorandum to the CEC at a meeting at Nirbachan Bhavan in the capital today. Earlier, a meeting was held between CEC and the members of the Nirmul Committee. After the meeting, Shahriar Kabir told journalists that they demanded to the Election Commission for taking steps in this regard.
And now, international news. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has said the killing of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi was planned days in advance. He said this to the ruling party MPs in the Turkish parliament today. Mr. Erdogan said Turkey had strong evidence Khashoggi was killed in a premeditated and savage murder at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul on the 2nd of October. He also called for the suspects to be tried in an Istanbul court. Erdogan demanded Saudi Arabia provide answers about where Khashoggi's body was and who had ordered the operation. Many world leaders have condemned the murder of the prominent Saudi critic and demanded a full investigation. Australia's government has unveiled sanctions against 5 officers in Myanmar's powerful military who are accused of overseeing the barbaric violence against members of the Rohingya ethnic group. Following similar actions by the United States and the European Union, Australia announced it would freeze the assets of officers, including a lieutenant general who commanded a special operations group believed to be behind the atrocities. Australian Foreign Minister Marisa Payne said today that the 5, some of whom are since believed to have stepped down from their posts, will also be banned from travelling to Australia. Meanwhile, the European Union has said it's committed to help finding a sustainable solution to the Rohingya crisis and deliver an additional 15 million euros in support to assist Rohingyas in Bangladesh. The EU has so far made available 65 million euros in humanitarian assistance. It has been providing substantial political development and humanitarian support in response to the Rohingya crisis, this right from the outset. Meanwhile, Malaysian Foreign Minister Saifuddin Abdullah has said the Rohingya repatriation may start in early 2019. He said efforts to help the Rohingyas return to their homeland will be initiated by ASEAN Foreign Minister Vivian Balakrishnan. Chinese President Xi Jinping has officially opened the world's one of the longest sea-crossing bridges 9 years after construction first began. Including its access roads, the bridge spans 55 kilometers and connects Hong Kong to Macau and the mainland Chinese city of Zhuhai. The bridge cost about $20 billion and seen several delays. Mr. Xi attended the opening ceremony of the bridge, which took place in Zhuhai along with the leaders of Hong Kong and Macau. The bridge will open to regular traffic on Wednesday. The crossing connects 3 coastal cities in southern China: Hong Kong, Macau and Zhuhai.
A Dhaka court today sent barrister Moinul Hussain to jail in a case lodged over alleged defamation of journalist Masooda Bhatti on television talk show. Dhaka Additional Metropolitan Magistrate Qaisarul Islam passed the order after holding hearing on his bail plea. Meanwhile, Law Minister Anisul Haq has said barrister Moinul Hussain has been arrested following a warrant for what he said to journalist Masooda Bhatti. The Law Minister said this to the journalists after attending a program of Bangladesh Political Science Association (BPSA) at Dhaka University's Social Science faculty in the capital today. The minister said the haughty and shameless statement by Moinul was not insulting to journalist Masooda Bhatti alone, rather it was an insulting remark towards all women. Women teachers and officials of Dhaka University formed a human chain at Opera Jio Bangla in the university campus today, protesting impudence and indecent comments made by barrister Moinul Hussain. Convener of Dhaka University Women Teachers Community, Professor Dr. Zinat Huda, presided over the human chain program. Speakers condemned the audacity of barrister Moinul Hussain and demanded exemplary punishment for him. Dhaka South City Mohila Jubo League held a rally in front of the National Press Club demanding exemplary punishment for barrister Moinul on defaming journalist Masooda Bhatti on television. General Secretary of the organization Nilufar Rahman chaired the rally, which was also addressed by former member of the Parliament Opu Ukil. Later, a broom procession was brought out. Mohila Jubo League workers also burned an effigy of barrister Moinul Hussain. Dhaka South City Shechhashebuk League also held a protest rally in front of the National Press Club demanding exemplary punishment for barrister Moinul Hussain. President of the organization Debashish Bishash presided over the protest rally, which was also addressed by Shechhashebuk League President Advocate Mullah Muhammad Abu Kausar. General Secretary Pankaj Debnath MP, Vice President Nirmal Chatterjee, Publicity Affairs Secretary Qazi Muazzam Hussain and Dhaka South City Shechhashebuk League General Secretary Arifur Rahman Titu. Leaders of a non-government organization, Sampriti Bangladesh, has said peaceful celebrations of Holi Eid ul-Fitr and Eid ul-Azha and Sharadiyo Durga Utsav proved that Bangladesh is the best example of communal harmony. They said this at a press conference at the National Press Club today. Convener of the organization, Piyush Bandyopadhyay, National Press Club President Shafiqur Rahman, Security Analyst Major General Retired Muhammad Ali Shikdar, daughter of a martyred freedom fighter Dr. Nuzhat Chaudhary, Dhaka University Jagannath Hall Provost Dr. Ashim Kumar, Dr. Uttam Kumar Borua and Dr. Mamun Al-Mahtab, amongst others, were present on the occasion. The speakers urged all to be united and alert so that none can harm the communal harmony during the upcoming election.
And now news from the world of sport. Bangladesh face Zimbabwe in the second ODI of the 3-match series in Chittagong tomorrow. The match will start at 2:30 p.m. Bangladesh Standard Time at the Zohur Ahmed Chaudhry Stadium. Bangladesh Television will bring you that match live. Earlier, the Tigers beat Zimbabwe in the first ODI by 28 runs with a brilliant performance of Imrul Qais and the Bangladeshi bowlers. Imrul played the innings of his career with 144 runs in the first ODI. And now, before we end the news, let's take a look at what's making the headlines here. ECNEC approves 21 development projects involving 19,778 crore and 73 lakh taka. President Mohammad Abdul Hamid urges World Investment Forum for increased investment in human resource and renewable energy sectors. Final decision on size of polls time government after the 26th of October Parliamentary Committee meeting, says Obaidul Qadir. Khashoggi murder was planned days in advance, claims Turkish President Erdogan. Professionals' organizations held rallies, human chain, demanding exemplary punishment for barrister Mainul Hussain. And second Bangladesh-Zimbabwe ODI in Chattogram tomorrow.
And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us. We invite you to watch our next bulletin in Bangla at 11:30.